Michael Watts is his name, and he's just like his daddy. He's just like his daddy. Good dude. Michael pretty much single-handedly carried the Commonwealth Attorney's Office at one time whenever Edison Banks was sick. I know I was really surprised that they appointed Matt Butler as Commonwealth Attorney instead of Michael Watts. I was shocked at that. The only reason I can come up with, and I don't know this, I've not spoke to them, but the only reason I can come up with in my head is that Michael just didn't want it. If Michael didn't want the position, then they probably wouldn't have given it to him, you know. But I don't know that for sure. But those are good people, Like I know that he's a prosecutor, so some people might not like him just because he's a prosecutor. He prosecuted them or somebody in their family or what. But I know that anytime anybody's ever needed help that I've talked to, if they've ever needed help with fairness and somebody that would listen and really listen to their side of the story, Michael Watts was the one that people went to. I've never heard anything bad about him either. I really haven't. Um, so that means I think people have respect for him. He treats, and people get treated how they treat other people. He treats other people with respect, and so they give it back to him. We've got Mickey sitting down there in the chair, and then you've got Tim Ison, who's the other preacher man and rehab guy. They're all preachers. So I remember when ARC and all of these other rehabs started trying to put together these programs. I remember. I was there. And West Care is one of them that's in Pikeville. They're the ones that run a homeless shelter. They have a homeless shelter in Pikeville. And I was really surprised to see that was the one that Michael Clark had went to after he got out of prison. But I read it in one of his things. We're going to read that too here in just a minute. But then you've got Michael Clark sitting up there in the window, making himself at home. Him and the judge seem to be really, really good friends. He says that the judge was his bestest friend and that Mickey Steins was his other bestest friend, which I think is very odd because if both of them were your bestest friend, we have not one time seen him in a courtroom at none of these hearings. He's not showed up once, not one time. I find that fascinating. You see, the judge, he just jolly old judge, smiley, smiley. He enjoyed that position. He enjoyed that position of power. Look at them, all living off the misery of their neighbors. Is this really the judge's chambers or a gathering area that smoking is allowed? No. Let me turn this off. Sometimes that cuts out my microphone if I leave that volume on, so we'll cut that off. So the smoking room is actually right across the hallway there. You see the hall in the back, and then there's another like room that you see. That's the smoke room. So, I mean, they smoke not just in the smoke room in the courthouse, and the judge did whatever he wanted to do. Like he provided this in this environment. And this is why I keep raising the issue about the lawsuit. Why was the judge not named in this lawsuit, in the civil lawsuit with Sabrina Adkins? He created this environment. It was a hangout spot. This was the hangout spot. And you know who's sitting in the back room? Angie Fields, Ben Fields, the deputy who was who was convicted. He took a plea bargain and for sexually abusing two women, Sabrina and Jennifer Hill, but Jennifer Hill died before he could be sentenced. So because she died, it knocked his sentence down because now he's only charged with one. Since she died, there was no longer a witness against him. So they had to drop the criminal charge against him. And her death is very suspicious. She died of an overdose, but it looks to me like she got a big hot shot. That's what it looks like to me and many, many other people. It looks like she actually got a hot shot. How many other people have been done that way? Or how many other people whose cases are suspicious that still don't have a proper investigation? Because, oh, nobody would ever think that this is going on in Whitesburg. Who would ever dream that a judge and a lawyer and whatever he is, I don't even know what he is. They say he's a community liaison. Oh, here it is. There's Angie Fields. This is the smoke room, you guys. So here's the brother-in-law, the one that did the Facebook ultimatum that just hates my guts and tried to make everybody unfriend me. He's the one in the bright pink shirt. That's Butler. Now, sitting right across from him with her hair up in a ponytail is Angie Fields. That is Ben Fields' wife. After he served his 6-month sentence in the Letcher County jail, where Bert Sloan immediately made him a trustee, gave him trustee status, got him a big TV for his cell, put him in a drunk tank by himself, and gave him a new bed where everybody else just gets a shell of a mattress. Nobody else gets any kind of padding inside of theirs. But I bet you Ben didn't sleep on the concrete. Oh, no, I bet he didn't. I'd love to have seen a picture of his cell at 5 months in. I would have loved to have seen that. Just to see what kind of comforts he got that nobody else did get.